to Garikapati Pavan Kumar ji. He is going to talk about Rājadharma at Citrakūṭa, Rāma's statesmanship in dialogue with Bharata. This is from Vālmīki Rāmāyaṇa. Garikapati Pavan Kumar ji is an independent researcher in Bharatiya knowledge systems. He has shown his interest in taking up this topic, and he said that it is a topic close to his heart. He is an independent researcher deeply immersed in Bharatiya knowledge systems with a focus on Veda, Vedanga, Darshana Shastras, Itihasa Puranas, and Niti texts. He holds a BTech in mechanical engineering, an MTech in manufacturing, and a postgraduate degree in industrial engineering. His published work in Indica today explores intersections between ancient astronomy, Vedanta, and systemic views of consciousness. Pavan has delivered talks to various study groups on the Ramayana and Mahabharata, covering topics such as Shradya Gita, Shanti Parva, Mahabharata, Rama's birth and marriage, Pattabhisheka, and other reflective themes. His engagement with these epics began in familial circles, nurtured by the Ashirvada of his parents, siblings, sisters-in-law, and brother-in-law, and enriched by the companionship and support of his wife and daughter. For this symposium, he turns his attention to epic narratives, specifically the Vālmīki Rāmāyaṇa, Gītā Press Telugu script, bringing his analytical and comparative style to examine how the Bharata-Rama dialogue at Citrakūṭa models Rājadharma, statesmanship, and governance within the Indic tradition. Over to you, Garikapati Pavan Kumar garu.
Suklam Bharadaram Vishnum Sesivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantayet Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnisam Anekadantam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahet Vagi Sadhyah Sumanasaha Sarvarthanam Upakrame Yamnatva Krutakrutyasyuhu Tam Namami Gajananam Vagartha Viva Samprukta Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau. Thank you, Dr. Nagaraj Paturi Garu, and thanks for the introduction. I will use my slides for this session. So, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank Indica Today organizers for giving me this opportunity to speak in the Indica Symposium on the Indian Knowledge Systems. The studies on statecraft, political thought, and governance. Right. My session will be on the Rājadharma at Citrakūṭa. So we all know that Rāma's and Bharat Milan in the Citrakūṭa, where we know the affectionate things that has happened, the emotional breakdown that Bharata had, and how the Bharata and Rama has met and all those things. But there is one amazing, fantastic sarga which talks about the Rājadharma, and very clearly it is like a foundational textbook on the Rājadharma. There are 77 slokas in this particular sarga, but out of that, I think in some of the texts it is mentioned as 76, but in Telugu Gītā Press version it is 77. There was no difference in the number of the slokas text, but one of the sloka was denoted as 2 numbers in the Gītā Press. That's why it was one extra number is coming. So this particular dialogue is very, very impressive and very important, not only in the ancient times. It is very important in the managerial context, in the leadership context, and other things. One of the sloka I would like to start with here is that, like, no, Ayodhya Kanda, Sarga 100 and the third sloka, Anke Bharatamaropya, Paryapruchat Samahitaha. So this is the way the Rama, when even the Rama, the Bharata comes near to the Rama, he cannot come too near to Rama. He just fell down on the floor and he will be crawling towards the Rama. That is the kind of scenario. At that time, he takes the Bharata into his lap, keeps on his lap, and then started asking questions. These questions, every question start with a avyaya, like kachit. What does that mean is that these questions, are you doing this? And he addresses Bharata as Tata, meaning the father, meaning in many of our Indian languages, we call our children as uh, our own father, kind of thing, right? In Telugu, we call Nana, Bagunnava, like that. So in the same way, he is showing so much of affection towards the Bharata, and every sloka he will ask, are you doing this? Are you doing that? And by asking these questions, he is telling that these are the things you should do. The same way, when a mother or father asks when we are away, like, we are away and we are telling that, okay, are you getting up early in the morning? Are you taking your medicines on time? That means that you should do these things. That's how he was teaching. This pedagogical kind of questioning by the Rama is amazing, and he teaches in that way. So I wanted to dedicate this session to my father and mother, who are like, I will say that Matu Sravanena Dharmaha, Pitur Bodhena Sadhanam, Yayor Krupaya Ramayanam, Mama Hurdaye Pratishtitam. Because of listening to my mother and my father's Viveka, or the wisdom that has given me the sadhana, because of both of them and all my family environment and structure that I am blessed with, this Ramayana is there in my heart, or the Hridaya. So with this, I would like to start this particular session. First of all, even before going to the Sarga 100, let us talk to contextualize the entire Ayodhya Kanda and Sarga before going to the 100. So the Sarga 1 to 18, up to the 17th Sarga, it is all preparations for the Rama's Pattabhisheka. Rama is getting coronated, getting the Pattabhisheka. He has to get into the Rājyadharma, and everything is done democratically. Dasharatha has put it in the Rajya Sabha, and multiple groups has voted for the Rama because of his gunas, because of his qualities that he shows, because of the his interest towards the people and those things, right? But suddenly, in the 18th Sarga, when he goes for the Pattabhisheka, he goes to the Dasharatha's court. That is where he realizes that no, there is a sudden reversal. I was very happy that my earlier speakers, they have talked about the Titiksha. Titiksha, and Dr. Nagaraj Paturi Garu has mentioned about the Upeksha. These are the wonderful words that we can talk about. Titiksha is defined in our Dharma Shastras. Multiple words are defined very, very specific. Titiksha was told, Sahanam Sarvadukhanam, Apratikara Purvakam, Chinta Vilaprahitam, Sa Titiksha Nigadyate. The Rama's thing is the best example of Titiksha I always feel. Sahanam Sarvadukhanam, enduring the entire sorrow, any type of sorrowness, and without any retaliation. Apratikara Purvakam. Chinta Vilaparahitam. Chinta means thinking about the future. Vilapa means thinking or lamenting about the past. Both are not there. Without these two things, Chinta Vilaparahitam, the Rama is just accepted the decision of the, whether it is Dasharatha or Kaikeyi, whoever it is, he has taken them. He has taken that decision as is, and he just wanted to execute that. And that decision, and he goes to the Sri Rama Vanavasa Gamana. Unfortunately, most of the time we hear like the words in English. I always feel that the words that are converted or translated into the English do not give the entire meaning of what our Sanskrit texts talk about. They talk exile and all those things, but it is never, Rama was never in the state of exile, either in his own view or in the view of the his own family, Dasharatha or Kaikeyi or anybody. It is always the Vanavasa. He has to go to the Vanavasa. We will talk about this a little bit later. And coming to that, then once he goes to the Vanavasa, that is the time actually you can see that the entire Ayodhya is behind him. Nobody is there in the Ayodhya. Everybody is behind him. Everybody goes along with him. He knows that either they will try to convince him or they will come with him to the forest. So both are not a desirable results. So he stops them, and he has to go in the middle of the night without telling anybody. He will go, right? And then in the 41 to 67 Sarga, Ayodhya is in grief, a lot of grief, and Dasharatha, we know that he passes away, goes to the Sargavasa. That time, unfortunately, any of his sons are near him. Bharata and Shatrughna are in their Matula Gruha, that is the that is the mother's place. And then they comes back, and once the Bharata comes back, and he becomes very much perturbed with this entire situation, and he immediately, once after doing the whatever rituals for the Dasharatha, he starts with to go to the Citrakūṭa. So that's where, even before the Bharata tells about that his father's passing away, the Rama starts the questioning of those things. So we will come to that. This is the brief thing. And then coming to I will say that this entire 77 slokas or 76 slokas can be divided into three pillars. I can say that these are the four timeless pillars of the Rama Rājya. The Rama Rājya, the Rama's statesmanship, Rama's effective governance, and Rama's democratic principles that reflect in this entire sarga is beautifully mentioned, and it progresses from one place to the other place. Like, right, you can see that first of the 1 to 24 slokas talks about the personal discipline, ethical foundation that one should have, the Raja should have, the king should have, or any leader must be having. So the leaders must be disciplined, prudent, and they select advisors wisely, from whom they are listening to, and how they are listening. All those things are put it in the first to 24 slokas. And then he slowly moves to the governance and administration. And remember that this is entire thing in the questioning format, and in the format of very affectionate questioning, asking the Bharata, telling that, like, no, this is the way we should be doing it. Now, the second level of the things, if you see that the second pillar is about the governance and the administration, where the effective administration, citizen welfare, how you should be doing the merit-based delegation of the people according to you, and the security and ensuring the public welfare, and how to appoint a minister, how to appoint a senapati, how to appoint everybody, right? I might not be able to talk about every sloka, but I will show you some of the examples from these slokas. And then coming to the prosperity and the safety, and then the third pillar comes. Once the governance, administration, everything he talks about, He talks about the economy, justice, social order, how the agricultural and the resources people are there, and then there is a trust, discipline, and the preparedness how you should be having, and how to ensure that economy and the justice need to be taken care, right? So then he from there, rule of law and the social equity, he moves to the fourth pillar in the final slokas of the sarga, that he talks about the higher ideals and legacy of the kingship, Ikshvaku Rājya, how they have taken care and all those things. So this is like a foundational book on the Rājadharma, foundational book on the like the you call the politics or the governance or the statesmanship and multiple things, right? Once you are having these overall things, I will go to the first pillar of the personal discipline and the ethical foundation. So Rāma starts with a very respectful inquiry. In the first inquiry itself, he starts with first, he has seen Bharata falling on the ground. He has put him on the lap. He is asking, Panute bhut pita tata yadaranyam tamagataha nahitvam jivatastasya vanamagantum arhasi. He is telling that if father is alive, why did you come to the forest? You should not have come to the forest, because your duty is to look after your father. You have to do the seva to your father. Or in the second sloka, he will be asking that has he gone to the Sargavasa? He has already died. So his vision can be clearly seen. Since he has died, you have come here. If he has died, then also you should not have come, because you should take care of the praja there. That's how the questioning starts. And then he talks about the father, his whereabouts. He talks about the guru. He asks about the mothers, all the three mothers equally he asks. And then he asks about his purohits. Kachit vinaya sampannaha kulaputro bahusrutaha anasuyara anudrashta satkrutaste purohitaha. Is your family, is our family purohita? He is being given his due respect. Are you giving the respect to the people who are giving you the jnana, who are giving you the knowledge? Are you doing that? So these are the major personal disciplinary questions that he is asking, and these are the ethical foundation he is talking about. Then he talks about the strategy and executive management. In this particular thing, this is a beautiful way of how to strategize, where to listen from, where not to listen from. What I did is that I have actually taken a short forms. I made it into the short forms, these slokas, and put it in these, because we definitely will not have the time to read all the slokas over here, right? So he is telling that appoint the brave, wise ministers, Suraha, Srutavanto, Jitendriyaha Mantrinaha. They should be Jitendriya, like the sensually they are controlled, the Indriyas are controlled, self-controlled ministers. They are only need to be appointed. He will tell that Mantraha Vijayamulam hi Susamvrtaha, well-guarded strategy. Mantra, when we say, it is mantranga, mantra, and all those things will give more from the strategy perspective. He tells that the strategy should be well guarded. That is very, very important for a Raja. You cannot disclose the strategy beforehand. Mantro Vijay Moolam hi Rangyam Bhavati Raghava. Susamvruto mantradharai amatyai shastrako vidai. That means that the well guarded strategies are the root of the success. They should be given by the learned ministers and capable of keeping secrets. They will be giving the strategy to you and also talk outside. And this is the strategy I have given to Rāma or Bharata or the king. So that kind of ministers will not work. They have to be able to keep the secrets. He talks about the Kaleva Buddhyase Chintayasi Ardhanaipunam. So he was telling that waking at right time, you think on the statecraft. Ardhanaipunam means artha is not just money, it's not just economy. It is about the prayojana. it is about the artha prayojana, or both go together. Like, right? We always think that artha means money alone, but artha is having bigger thing in the purusharthas, dharmartha kama mokshas. The artha is prayojana, and the statecraft and the Rājadharma also comes into this artha shastra. So then comes to that, decide wisely, share cautiously. Naikaha mantrayase na bahubih saha. What is he saying is that you neither plan alone nor with too many. Na ekaha mantrayase na bahubih saha. You should be planning with very limited number of people. You should not be planning alone. You should not be planning with many. Lagumulam mahodayam kshipram arabase kartum. I like this very much. Act promptly on the high yielding endeavors. We call in our management texts like low hanging fruits. Nobody can define the low hanging fruits so well that what Rama has told. Laghu moolam means you should have the very small effort, and mahodayam, that means that you should have a lot of high yielding should be there. Kshipram aravase kartum. Kshipram means you do it fast, don't delay it. And na dirghayasi ragava. Na dirghayasi means don't be procrastination way. Like, right? And then he can also will tell us that kachittu sukrutanyeva krutarupani va punaha viduste sarvakaryani na kartavyani pardhiva. So you should ensure that whatever endeavors you are doing, the kings will learn, the other kings will learn only after you are getting succeeded or almost completion, nearing the completion. They should not know that, okay, from the starting onwards, they should not know, because there will be people who will be hampering your efforts. Like that, multiple things are there. And one more thing he talks about, prefer one wise man over many fools. Sahasranam murkhanam ekam panditam ichhasi. So that is how he tells about the executive and the strategy management. These all again in the questioning format. And then he moves into the second, governance and the administration structure. These are the structures. I am trying to put it in my own view of the pillars and the structure, just to compare or make it a bit easier for the modern thinkers to look at, but not to dilute our great epic in any form, right? So please forgive me if I am trying to put it in a slightly different way, but these are all Rama's absolute way of doing a kind of a foundational text over here. So he talks about there are 4-step framework for the statecraft, or the how you are going to recruit the people, how you are going to recruit the mantris. So I have taken the example of recruiting the mantris or the ministers. There are recruiting, how to recruit the senapati, how to recruit other people is also there. But I just took one example. He first, ekopyamatyo medhavi suro daksho vichakshanaha. So that means that one capable minister who is having, like, he should be medhavi, he should be daksha, that means skillful, he should be vichakshana, he should be having the capability to think more clearly, right? And advise. One person is sufficient. So that should be the idea. So whenever you are going to recruit the people, think from this particular perspective. Then he was talking that follow the process. First step one is that mukhya mahatsu madhyamaha madhyameshu jaganyaha jaganyeshu. That means that assign tasks according to a servant's capability. Don't put everybody in one place or like that, right? And then follow the second process, selecting the right ministers. Amatyan upadhatitan pitru paitamahan suchin sreshthan. So appoint eminent, incorruptible ministers. They should be incorruptible, means they should not be like, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madam, ascharya, any of those things. You can corrupt them, right? You cannot you cannot corrupt them by giving the gifts, you cannot corrupt them by showing the women or whatever it is, right? So after the following the process steps and those things, verify the result. Beautiful thing here is that how do you verify you have recruited the correct ministers? Is that no grena dandena brusam udvejita prajam? That means that are these people stopping you if you are giving the ugra danda to the your own people? That means that are the ministers advising, not ruling with the harsh punishment that frightens subjects? Are they stopping you? If they are stopping you, they are the right ministers for you. So this is the beautiful way of since I belong to the I entire life I was in the quality management in the corporates. So I say that this is like a Rāma's governance. This naturally embodies what modern management formalizes as the or the Durand's PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, act. You plan, you do the things, you check, you verify, and then act accordingly to correct that. So this is the one thing. And then the second one, he talks about the governance and administration, right? The Gudachari network. This Gudachari is highly misunderstood in my opinion, that we call them spies, we call them multiple things. There are different names. We can if you go to the Chanakya and other shastras, there are different names for the spies and others. But Gudachari network, I will tell that this is the backbone of the democracy. It should be to ensure the dharma. It is the governance and the citizen welfare, not to spy on alone the other people, right? There is a 4-point functional framework that I could draw from the Ramayana's Sarga 100. That one is that it is the extended senses of the king. Raja's chakshu and the srotra of the these people should work like that. The king perceives the reality through the gudacharis. That means that the gudacharis will go to multiple places and they will actually bring this one. Then there is they do the secret observation, but of the public information. They observe the assemblies, they observe the courts, they observe the marketplaces, but they do that. Then third is that they uphold the dharma through immediate reporting. If there is a adharma happening at a place, they immediately report to the king. They are supposed to report to the king, and immediately king will take the action. Then they are the backbone of the governance and the democracy. Now Rama is asking, like there are certain tirthas. Tirtha is basically where the king's orders are implemented at different places, like, right? Those are called the tirthas. And there are 18 tirthas in any rajya. If it is Swarajya, you should implement in 15 tirthas. That means that the Gudacharis will not be there on the Mantri, Purohita or Yuvaraja, where the green color thing which I am showing over here. Other places, all 18 tirthas, you should have the Gudacharis. The Gudacharis, when we are saying that on every 3 tirthas, one Gudachari, he is telling that how many Gudacharis you are mentioning, how many Gudacharis you are putting, such that are you listening to your praja? Are you listening to your people? It is Pararajya and Pararajya. Both Rajyas you should listen. Even in the Pararajya. Why in the Pararajya? Because if you are learning the how the people in the Pararajya are being done, anywhere the dharma is hampered, you should take the step to restore the dharma. That is what is the overall idea of the Gudachari network. In Kishkinda Kanda, Rama will say that Ikshvakus are just not rajas for the just one particular place or the one particular hill or one particular thing. They are the rajas entire bhumandala, right? So that's why they wanted to have the Gudachari network, this thing. So this is like a beautiful way of restoring or ensuring the dharma wherever if it is hampered at. So that is the governance. And then he will talk about the economy, justice, social order. I may be missing some of these slokas, but whatever slokas I wanted to quote, I am quoting over here. So trust, discipline in the preparedness. One beautiful thing that I have seen is that kachid darsayase nityam manushyanam vibhushitam utthayottaya purvanne rajaputro mahapathe. He is asking Bharata, are you giving your appearance each morning before the people in the Rajamarga, in the Mahapathe, in the whatever Rajamarga that you are having? This shows the accessibility and symbolic leadership. Rāma as king, he ensures that there is a daily public presence, strengthening the citizens' confidence and social order. And when the Raja is appearing in front of the people, they know that who is actually leading them. They know that how that is the leadership with a kind of symbolism. So this beautifully shows that how the leader should come into the people and show them and give the confidence on a daily basis. Now, he also talks about the discipline. Kachinna sarve karmantaha pratyakshaste visankaya sarveva punarutsrushta madhyame vatra karanam. So he is telling that no servants are behaving disrespectfully in your presence, or they are very afraid of you. Both should not happen. There should be a balance in the best. The balance is the best in this matter, right? Either the people should not be afraid of the Raja, and at the same time they should not be and a very negligible or presence kind of Raja also should not be there, right? He talks about Kachit Sarvani Durgani Dhanadhanya Ayudhodakai Yantraischa Paripurnani Tadha Silpida Nurdharai. So he is telling that, are you well stocked with wealth, grain, weapons, water, skilled artisans, and all the things, right? And he will also tell that in the 55th sloka, Ahatte Vipulaha, Kachit Kachit, Kachida Alpataro Vyayaha. He is telling that maximize income, minimize expense. See, look at the kind of words, look at the kind of knowledge, look at the kind of political thinking or the statecraft or the statesmanship that is provided by the Rama is uncomparable in my view from the time immemorial, if I have to say. Then we are talking about the justice with the restraint. Rama's, he counseling on the punishment, how to do the punishment also. Kachidaryo visuddhatma aksharitah chorakarmana aprushtah shastrakusalai na lobhadvadyate suchihi. If an innocent, upright man, if they are found to be doing the theft or doing some actions of that sort, are you doing the proper inquiry? Shastra kusalaha, are they really people who are parangata in the shastra? Are they doing that? And then only you are giving them, otherwise don't, wrong justice will go a long way. It will be very bad for the state. So na lobhad vadhyate suchihi. So don't never, because of the lobha, don't kill them or don't punish them. Gruhitaschaiva prustascha kale drushtaha sakaranaha kachinna muchyate choro dhanaloban nararshabha. A caught thief should not be released from greed for wealth. If a person is identified as a thief, never leave him because of the greed, because he may be rich person or any for those reasons, you don't do that. And what to uphold as the right justice is that vyasane kachidadhyasya dugatasya cha raghava ardham viragaha pasyanti tabamatya bahusrutaha. Adhyasya, they are maybe rich people. Dugatasya means the poor people. If the rich and poor divide is there, still you should do the impartial judgment to the people. Just because he is rich, don't do in. So impartiality of the judgment was talked about, whether rich or poor. Yani midhyabhisyastanam patantyasruni raghava tani putra pasun gnanti prityardhamanusasatah. Tears of the falsely accused destroy the families of unjust rulers. Ensure you it is not the just the ruler, but the entire Vamsa will be destroyed if a falsely accused person is putting the tears, right? So there are certain patantara here. Somebody says asru, somebody says asra. Asra means the blood drops, or the asru is more, I found maybe asru is more relative here, the because of the tears. So those are the things. And then multiple things. You can never ignore weak foes, avoid materialistic Brahmins. He will tell that Brahmins here is that basically he talks about the jnana, the knowledge providers of that, right? Kachinna lokayatikan brahmana mahatata sevase. Reject hollow logic over dharma, protect flourishing Ayodhya, ensure prosperous, safe kingdom, right? And then cherish farmers, cattle keepers. So you talk about the justice, social order, multiple things he is bringing into the this thing. So I will be just moving into the, and then he talks about the higher ideals and the legacy of the kingship. He will talk about the Ikshwakus, how they have this thing. He talks about 14 pitfalls of a king that one must avoid. So we have put it into a kind of two areas: personal failings and the governance failings. So he tells that a king always should avoid these 14 things. Nastikyam, that means loss of faith. He should not having the atheistic kind of mentality. Anrutam. Anrutam is the falsehood, it is opposite of the rhythm, right? So no, from the truth, opposite of the truth. Krodha, he should not have the krodha. That's why in the Rama's gunas Jitakrodha we will say, but at the same time we will also say that kasya bibhyati devascha jatakrodhasya. So that means that the Rama, when he gets angry in the yuddha, even the devas and the asuras, demons, will get they are all afraid. But he is jita krodha. That means you should have the one over the krodha. It is not that you don't show the krodha. Pramadaha is the carelessness. Dirgha sutrata, procrastination. This was told multiple times in the Ayodhya Kanda to the Bharata, that if you have decided on a particular task, never sit on it, do it, complete it. That is what is the advice of from the Rama to any of the kings, right? Adarshanam jnanavatam, disregard of the means don't visiting to the wise. You are not visiting to the wise. You always, the jnana purushas, you should be visiting them, you should be doing the seva, you should be understanding from them, and all those things. Alasya, that means that you are doing all the delays and the sloth. And then panchavrittita. Panchavrittita means panchendriya, meaning that you are bonded to the panchendriyas, sensual, or the that is what is the kama, whether it is indriyas you are attached to. Then these are the personal failings, if you could put it. And then in the governance failings, if you see that this is the ekachintanam, never ever decide the affairs alone without the council. And mantranam anardhagnya. Anardhagnya means if there are people who doesn't understand, incompetent people, don't do the strategy, consult those people. Anishta anarambha, failure to execute decided plans. This is what I was saying, that dirgha sutrata and anarambha, these are the two opposite kind of things. You have to do the arambha of the, or the immediately execute the decided plans. Mantrasya aparirakshanam, not keeping the state secrets. mangalasya aprayoga. If there are any auspicious beginnings, you are not doing the aprayoga, means not doing the prayoga of it. And pratyutthanam sarvasah. And this is one beautiful thing that I have seeing that when you are in the seat, you are in the kingdom or the leadership role, rising indiscriminately for all. Sarvasaha, you should not pratyuthana. Pratyuthana means just getting up and showing the respect and going towards them and those things. It should not be done if you are in the leadership role. And these are the things he was talking about. And then I will. I know that the time is only 3 more minutes. So, but I have few more slides. But I will try to close up very fast, right? So, this is the Rājadharma. There are 15 higher ideals of the statecraft, right? So, these 15 higher ideals, I have put it in three formats, three levels. First thing is that he talks about the self mastery of the king. He talks about the Ashtavarga, where Ashtavarga is the Krodhaja Vyasana, means they are born of the Krodha. And there are Dasavarga and 10 evils to avoid Kamaja Vyasana. So there are these are multiple things are there. I will be, in the interest of time, I will not get into the details. And then the Indriya Jaya, control of the senses, Vidyatraya, that means that he talks about the Veda, Varta, and the Dandaniti. All these things need to be learned. And then the Trivarga, Dharmartha Kama. So Trivarga also he need to understand. He needs to understand Dharma, Artha, Kama very well. Then the king becomes the self-master. That self-mastery will come by avoiding the Ashtavarga and Dasavarga and gaining the Trivarga, Vidya, Traya and the Indriya Jaya. Then he will talk about the constitution of the state. Like the constitution of the state will be having the Panchavarga and Saptanga. Saptanga, when we say that it is like the king, that is the Raja himself, ministers, mantri, army, forts, treasure, Kosagara, and friends, Mitravarga, and the territory. So these are the Saptanga. These are more detailed. Maybe other speakers may be also speaking about these things more detail in terms of their Chanakya Niti and other sessions. These are, each one of them can go into a single session themselves, right? And Panchavarga is the 5 fortifications, like you have the Jaladurga, Parvata Durga, Vanadurga. So I was talking about this, and I know that, like, strategies and the external affairs, it was talking about Yatra, Danda Vidhana, Vimsati Varga. Vimsati Varga is a beautiful thing where 20 monarchs, kind of monarchs, where you should not do the any kind of friendship and Sandhi Vigraha and all those things. Then what I have seen in the Rama's kind of instructional questions, that at Citrakūṭa, I can put it in a testing, teaching, and transforming kind of framework, where he is testing the Bharata's fitness to rule, right? Whether Bharata is ready to rule, what is his personal discipline, whether he is having the emotional restraint, whether and he is assessing the ethical clarity. Because Dharma, as our earlier speakers also mentioned about, Dharma is the foremost thing. It is neither any other civilization has given this, like whether Machiavelli or all those things, right? Assessing the ethical clarity and civic responsibility. Prajaranjana, we talk about the democracy. Prajaranjana is the most important thing, and evaluating the readiness for the leadership. This is what he is testing the Bharata's fitness to rule in the first few 24 slokas. That is where personal discipline and ethical foundation he was testing. Teaching the Ikshvaku's framework, how the earlier Ikshvaku Rajas has done the Rajya Palana, how you should be doing it. So he is talking about the governance and administration, economy, justice, social order. That is where he is teaching the Ikshvaku's framework to the Bharata. He is giving the instructions on the administration, justice, and all those things. And then he is transforming the Bharata's resolve, because you know that Bharata is a king. He is supposed to be a king. He is not taking care of the Ayodhya. He is fallen at the feet of the Rama, and he is not even come too near to the Rama. He's just fallen and crawling. So that person, he has to ensure that Bharata, you have to go back and do the Rajya Palana. This is our duty, and ensuring that, motivating the duty amidst the dynastic crisis, invoking the Ikshvaku's lineage and ideals. I have not told about certain slokas where he invokes the Ikshvaku's lineage and the ideals, elevating the grief into the public responsibility. These are the things. So that is where he is testing, teaching, and transforming Bharata into a wholesome king. And these are timeless lessons that every leader need to have, right? And also, most of the time, Rama is not just obeying the Dasaratha's order by coming to Vanavasa. What he is telling that, Tvam Raja Bharata, Bhavasvayam Naranam, Vanyanam Ahamapi Rajarat Mruganam, Gachatvam Puravaradya, Samprahrushtaha, Samhrustastasvahamapi, Dandakan Pravekshay. He is telling that you become the you become the Raja for the Naranam, for the people, and I will be the sovereign of the forest and the creatures, right? Ahamapi Rajarat Mruganam. So wherever he is the Raja, he is the king, he will take care of the Dharma, he will follow the Rājadharma. And not only there, he was telling that, like, in the Aranyakanda also he will be telling, Viprakaram apakrushtum rakshasai bhavatamimam pituh tu nirdeshakaraha pravishtohamidam vanam. To remove the harm caused by the Rakshasas to you sages, I have entered this forest as per my father's command. So he is telling that I have come to the forest only to save the Dharma, only to save you guys, only to ensure that this one. And you can see multiple places. What is that? What is there on the Rama's mind? It is not the Vanavasa is on his mind. It is not that he is on his mind. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. He is the personifying Dharma personification. He has come here, like, right? He is telling that Ikshvakunam yam bhumihi sa sailah vanakanana mrugapakshi manushyanam nigraha anugrahshavapi. If this with this entire earth with its mountain, woods, forests, everything is the authority of the Ikshvakus. We will punish and protect the animals. We will punish the Dushta Sikshana and Sishta Rakshana is what we are going to do. Tam palayati dharmatma bharatah satyavan ruju dharmakama ardhatatvagno nigraha anugrahe ratha. So that is what Bharata is doing the Rajya Palana over here. So this is what he will tell. Tasya dharmakruta adesha vayam anyecha pardhivaha charamo vasudham krusnam dharma santanam ichhava. Following his righteous decree, the Bharata's righteous decree, we and other kings roam the entire earth. So upholding the continuity of the Dharma. That is what Rama's Vanavasa is not exile. Please don't use this word at all. It is sovereign Dharma in the forest, a conscious extension of Kshatriya Dharma, Rājadharma. That is what the entire Citrakūṭa dialogues will tell. Then after this dialogue only will be told that Dasaratha is passed away and all those things will come. So I acknowledge my elder brother who is also there in this call, constantly gives me the inner meanings of the things, and he is like a guide, mentor, and basically a guru. Professor G. Narahar Shastri, he is in Dean IIT Hyderabad, and my wife Garikapati Sangeeta, And there are innumerous people from whom I could derive, like my elders and my Pedananna garu, GSN Sastri garu, and my I call affectionately Madhira Mamaya, Visveswara Sastri garu, and the sloka that I have written in the Sanskrit for my father and mother was corrected by Kandala Raghavachari garu, who is a Paniniya Sanskrit scholar, and there are innumerable people. I might be not able to thank so many people in my journey in this area. So the resources I have used, as I mentioned, this is the Gītā Press Gorakhpur edition, Vālmīki Rāmāyaṇam. There are 3 parts to it, and Vālmīki Rāmāyaṇa.net, online text for the Vālmīki Rāmāyaṇa. This is very helpful. IIT case, this one that also I have used. Thank you all for patiently listening to me, and sorry for the glitch that has happened and the extra amount of time that I have taken for about 10 minutes.
Thank you very much, Garikapati Pavan Kumar garu. There is a comment, it's not a question. Leadership lessons from Mahabharata, Lord Krishna as a Shanti Duta can also be covered. Thank you, Pragati Yadav ji, for this comment.